sadhana this week, I have gone back into Surya Namaskar, the absolutely fantastic, grounding, fabulous, seemingly simple, but incredibly potent Surya Namaskar. For me, it immediately brings greater symmetry into my skeleton and it really sets up my day. It is quite extraordinary how it brings an automatic flow into my day. And when I don't include Surya Namaskar, I feel it in my body. I feel the lack of it in my body as I go through the day. So it's got me thinking about the way that sadhana actually provides a structure for the day. Firstly, it brings a repetition, a pattern, so that if you do your sadhana at a particular time, and I've spoken about this before, how I don't make myself do the exact same series of practices every single day because I need the variety. However, I do make sure that I do something at the very beginning of my day so that that rhythm is set up. And when you have a rhythm, a reliable rhythm in your day, it allows the body and the mind to land. But what's really interesting is how Surya Namaskar in particular actually seems to set up a rhythm that runs through the whole of my day. That's the piece that I find truly remarkable about it. When I don't do it, I don't have the same sense of rhythm in my day. But when I have done Surya Namaskar at the beginning of the day, the entire day has its own wonderful rhythm. For adornment this week, I want to talk about sound. The quality and the impact of the types of sound that we have coming into the ear and filling the brain and filling the system. Because I've certainly noticed that there are a lot more noises and sort of harsh noises around in the environment when you're walking down the street. You know, the sounds of vehicles seem to be louder. There's more traffic, but also people are having conversations on their phone and often speak quite loudly, or they have their earphones in and they're speaking and they are unaware of who is around them because they are in their own world, they're in their own sound. So there's just a lot more jangling going on when you are out in public walking down the street. It seems harder to create that environment of peace because of the types of sound and the amount of sound that's just coming at you from the space around. So I've been thinking about creating beautiful sound and sound itself as an adornment. And this is a concept that is very important in classical Indian music and dance. The notion of ornamentation in sound and indeed ornamentation in music. I've spoken in previous videos about the power of mantra and how when we allow the sound of mantra to penetrate deeply, it changes our consciousness. And that, in fact, is the whole point of mantra. It is how mantra works. The sound actually transforms your consciousness. Thinking beyond mantra into sound in general, I've been really sensing into this week and finding ways of bringing beautiful sound, the adornment of sound, into my experience. Birdsong in particular. So going out fairly early in the day, or actually even at any point in the day, if you listen, you will hear bird sound. And so for me, going for a walk by the river, maybe sitting down and consciously listening for those sounds that bring balance into the brain, that actually shift. You can feel it. You can actually feel the sound working on the system. and it creates a different sensation through the body. Once you become more aware of the subtler aspects of your body, the subtle bodies, you will actually notice immediately how different types of sound impact you. So that's what I've been doing this week. I have been seeking out birdsong as a way of bringing that beautiful ornamentation into my experience of sound. Inside my mind this week, I have been thinking about time. So I have the remarkable opportunity to have spent some time with a siddha. Yes, I get to hang out with some of the most interesting people on the planet. And this particular siddha got me thinking about the nature of time at the biggest, largest level, and at the most immediate level of being aware of time each hour, the passing of minutes, being aware of the passing of hours, and considering how I'm spending my time. Where is time being wasted, and where is time being well spent? And he spoke to me about the equation of time and mind. So I've been really going into this sort of awareness of time at many different levels. And I've been experiencing a slight sort of disorientation around time because I've been aware of it at the largest level, the sort of ultimate level of Kala Bhairava, that type of cycle of time. And I've been aware of the passing of seconds, the passing of each set of 15 minutes, and what have I done with my time in these 15 minutes. So it's been very interesting, both the immediacy, time has that immediate quality when you pay attention to it in that way, and this extraordinarily vast quality at the same time. But really, what I've been also thinking about is how that's impacted my system, because I think that one of the problems that we all face, just as part of the way we live nowadays, is that we can have a sense of urgency. So I see two things with time. One danger is that we start to feel over urgent about it. If you are aware of the passing of the hours and the passing of the minutes, if you're literally watching the clock, as it were, that can create a sense of urgency which disrupts the system and is not good. On the other hand, I also see the danger of allowing time to just pass. And this, sadly, is actually the reality for a lot of people. Days, weeks, months, years will pass. And then they look back and wonder, where did the time go? How have I wasted so much time? What have I actually achieved? So between the urgency and the laziness, because you're not being aware of time, we don't want either of those two things. What we want is, and this is something that I've been really working on, and I'm still very much working on, is an awareness of time that is deep and precise, but is also supportive. It's deep and precise, but it also is supportive so that we can be productive and active and enjoy. I'm very keen on enjoyment. If you've been following my work for some time, you'll know that I am very keen on delight and pleasure and enjoyment. So that's why I don't want the urgency. And that's also why I don't want the oblivion and the laziness. I want to be aware, but I want that awareness to have a quality of delight and enjoyment about it. So this is what I've been working on, and it's been very much occupying my mind this week, my relationship with time. And what I'm seeking, and what I suggest you seek as well, is this deep precision as well as delight. So it's high summer here in my part of the world, and therefore, with consumption, I am really taking the opportunity to eat a lot of raw food, a lot of salad, to increase my energy and to very gently strengthen the body. So in traditional Chinese medicine, which I absolutely adore, this particular time, the height of summer, because it's very high yang energy, this particular time is a good time to strengthen the body overall. And that's what I've been doing. This week, I've been eating a lot of raw. So it's not a detox. And this is something I think that we can get very caught up on the idea of detox, but actually, if we follow the seasonality and bring that seasonal awareness into our eating habits in a supportive way, we actually focus on strengthening the body, tonifying the whole system, the organs, and therefore the detox, in quotes, the detox happens quite naturally and it happens very easily. So I'm really enjoying the raw. I'm eating a lot of strawberries. I'm finding really exquisite fruit and enjoying that. So the consumption feels very light and very energizing. I mean, I notice it immediately in my system. And I have to say, I know that Ayurveda does not encourage raw. It doesn't like raw because the principle of cooking is very important in Ayurveda. So that's the other piece here about consumption of food. I think it's important to pay attention to the climate that we're living in, the state of the body, the age and stage of life that we are at, the type of activities that we're doing, and also the purpose that we have for the body. And this is something that it's a concept that I have worked with a lot. I don't think I've really spoken about it a lot yet. But the question is, what is the purpose that you have for your body? Most people won't think in this way because they just move the body through life. They just see the body as something that goes through life with them. But actually, the focus that you have for your life, the way that you spend your time, the purpose, the goals that you have, all of this impacts the way that you carry your body. And if we actually take that question further and ask, what is the purpose that I have for my body? And then you build your consumption to support that. This is a very intelligent way of approaching food because there are so many different avenues that you could take. There are so many different pieces of advice that you could take around diet, food consumption. And the perspective that I always move from is what is the purpose of my body. And maybe that's something I'll talk about more in the future, the way that I see the purpose of my own body. But of course, movement is a very important part of that because movement is a key part of the way that I live. Creating my own dance movement, creating my own movement meditation, that's a very important purpose of body for me. So the way that I eat, the way that I consume needs to support that. And right now, I'm really enjoying the raw.